welcome to Cycles of Life podcast. This is episode 10 of Podmas. Cannot believe we made it this far. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for listening. Today's a very short episode, as you probably have noticed. I just wanted to catch up really, because actually this episode comes out 2 days behind the schedule. And that's why I want to talk about the reasons for that, and actually what lessons I've taken away from that. So the reason why we are late is because I managed to catch COVID. Yeah, well, I live in London and I feel like pretty much everyone in London right now is having COVID. So yeah, I managed to catch it. So this means that I am self-isolating for Christmas. My date of freedom will be the 28th of December. So I'm grateful it's before New Year's. At least I get a little bit of, at least I can leave before the New Year's. So yeah, we're staying in London, of course, not going to go anywhere. Staying home the whole time. Luckily, my partner, he doesn't have COVID, so that's really good. So he's been testing every single day, but that means he can leave the house and go to shops, which is essential. So yeah, that's quite nice. So yeah, I've been quite unwell for the last few days. I feel like I'm slowly starting to feel a bit better, but yeah, it's not easy, is it? It's just the tiredness and fatigue is quite dramatic, I would say. So what I want to talk about today is actually 5 things that actually help kind of getting through this period, but also things that help caring for ourselves, caring for others during this time, during the winter. So 5 things that actually help. So the first one for me is making my surroundings as nice as humanly possible. So what I mean by that is, first of all, make sure it's tidy, so dusting, cleaning. And yeah, I don't have a lot of energy right now, so I'm kind of slowly cleaning the house as I go through the days. So trying to do little and often. But other things that kind of fits into here as well is having candles lit, having the Christmas tree on. That's the first thing that I do in the morning. Wake up and put the Christmas tree on. Tidying, as I said, but just making things nice and cozy. Making sure there's no litter, no rubbish around, decluttering if possible. I don't know about you, but for me, if my surroundings are nice and semi-organised, but just nice and cozy, it makes such a difference to my well-being. And I feel being ill during that is not as painful as probably sometimes. And I know sometimes, of course, we just don't have energy or, well, we just can't do anything about it. That's absolutely fine. So please be nice to yourself. If you can't do anything about it, that's absolutely fine. But if there's small things that you can do them. Making the bed, picking up your clothes, whatever that is. So next thing, actually, this kind of beautifully leads me into this, is actually wearing nice outfits. And I don't mean anything fancy, absolutely not. But just for some reason, I've been wearing a lot of very matching kind of comfies, and it makes me so happy. So I have 2 sets and I kind of keep rotating them between washes. But it just makes such a difference. Luckily, I actually bought one in October and arrived just a few weeks ago. So I got it from this wonderful brand called Stalf. I've had a lot of their clothes. I love them. Sustainable, made in Britain. Just makes me very happy. So yeah, I got almost as if I knew. So I will need it. So I got a really nice set of cozies. That helps a lot. Just wearing something nice and brushing my hair every morning, I think, makes a lot of difference as well. Number 3 is, for me anyway, is drinking good tea. And I just don't mean just like a box stand boring black tea, but just making a nice, so I'm using actually cafetiere. So I'm using an old cafetiere that we have for tea making. So either drinking some nice herbal teas, or I'm also a big fan of fresh ginger and lemon. So simple, yet so effective. It's just having something nice to sip on. So I always make a lot of it, so it lasts me at least half a day. Sometimes I put it in a thermos. It's just nice little things, just little, you can just pour it into your mug and make it a little bit nicer. Number 4, it's a bit different. Number 4 is actually doing things that my inner child would have absolutely loved. So go back to childhood and think, what are those things that you really enjoyed doing when you were little? Can you do some of them now? Is it anything they can bring more of? Obviously, for me, you will know that it's a lot of crafts. but also reading. So I've been reading quite a lot, well, depending how I feel, but yeah, I've been reading books. I've been just sitting on a sofa, feeling nice and cozy, drinking tea and reading a book. Sometimes that's all I want. And also watching great movies. I say great, what I mean by that. For example, I'm slowly rewatching all of the Harry Potter movies. Luckily, I have them on DVD. So yeah, just things that I know that as a kid I would have loved that. So thinking back, when I was a child, what was my ideal sick day? And trying to replicate that. And actually just watching simple movies, drinking tea. That's all I want most of the time. And number 5 is a bit ambiguous, but it's just acceptance. It's just accepting the situation. Yeah, it sucks. No one wants to self-isolate for Christmas. It is rubbish. But just know that you're not alone. There's a lot of us that are going through very similar things. And actually, a big part of acceptance for me, I found anyway, was social media, because I finally signed up to TikTok, and there's a lot of people talking about how half of London is currently self-isolating, and a lot of people using humour to get through this, and I find it really helps me anyway. So yeah, social media sometimes can be quite helpful, I think, especially in moments like this. So yeah, these are the 5 things that I find quite helpful. Something helps me to shift my focus a little bit. Sometimes all you need, really, because often anger and anxiety comes from when our reality doesn't match our expectations. So how can we change that? Can we change that? Not often. But one thing that we can shift is our mindset. How do we perceive the situation? And it's not always easy. Absolutely not. But I'm just hoping that just the notion that you're not alone. There's a lot of us that are going through the same thing. And actually, how can we make it as pleasant for us as humanly possible? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say today, really. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know how you find it. But just know, you're not alone. It's not easy. And if you're the lucky one who's actually celebrating Christmas, amazing. I'm so happy for you. Sending you a lot of love. Speak soon.